The story of Zacchaeus. In the bustling city of Jericho, where date palms swayed in the warm breeze and the air was sweet with the scent of flowering gardens, lived a man named Zacchaeus. As the chief tax collector, he had accumulated great wealth, but his prosperity came at the cost of connection with his community. His small stature matched his standing among his neighbors, overlooked, avoided, and often left on the margins of society. Word spread through the narrow streets of Jericho like ripples on water Jesus was coming to their city. The name was spoken in excited whispers, passed from merchant to craftsman, from mother to child. Everyone had heard stories of this remarkable teacher who brought healing and hope wherever he went. The news stirred something deep in Zacchaeus' heart, a longing he couldn't quite name. On the appointed day, crowds began gathering along the main road, their anticipation filling the air like the warmth of morning sun. People pressed together, children sitting on parents' shoulders, everyone eager to catch a glimpse of Jesus. Zacchaeus stood at the edge of the crowd, but his short stature meant he could see nothing but the backs of those ahead of him. Rather than accept defeat, Zacchaeus felt drawn by an irresistible desire to see Jesus. Looking ahead along the road, he spotted a sturdy sycamore tree with low, welcoming branches. Despite his wealthy robes and dignified position, he felt no hesitation. With the eager determination of someone pursuing something precious, he hurried ahead of the crowd. The rough bark of the sycamore felt warm beneath his hands as he climbed, finding a secure perch among its spreading branches. The leaves provided gentle cover, while allowing him a clear view of the road below. From this vantage point, he could see over the heads of the gathering crowd, his heart beating with anticipation. As the sounds of the approaching crowd grew closer, Zacchaeus settled into his hiding place, feeling both foolish and hopeful. The gentle rustle of leaves around him provided a soothing counterpoint to the excited murmur of voices below. The crowd's excitement grew as Jesus approached, their voices rising like a gentle tide. From his perch in the sycamore, Zacchaeus could see Jesus clearly now, moving through the crowd with unhurried grace. There was something about his presence that seemed to bring light to everything around him, touching each person he passed with a gentle awareness. Then the unexpected happened. Jesus stopped directly beneath the sycamore tree. He looked up, his eyes meeting Zacchaeus' with warm recognition, as if he had known all along where to find him. The leaves rustled softly in the breeze as Jesus spoke, his voice carrying clearly to the man hidden among the branches. "Zacchaeus," he said, the name flowing like honey from his lips. "Hurry and come down, for I must stay at your house today." The words hung in the air like morning dew, simple yet profound. In that moment, everything changed for the tax collector, whose name had so long been spoken with contempt. With joy that seemed to bubble up from some deep spring within his heart, Zacchaeus scrambled down from the tree. His movements were quick but careful, eager to respond to this unexpected invitation. The crowd parted around him, their whispers now carrying notes of surprise and confusion. How could Jesus choose to stay with someone known throughout the city as a sinner? But Zacchaeus stood before Jesus, his face glowing with something more than just the warmth of the afternoon sun. In that moment of being truly seen, truly known, and still welcomed, something profound began to shift in his heart. The walls built by years of isolation and judgment began to crumble like ancient stones, giving way to new growth. Looking into Jesus' eyes, Zacchaeus felt words rising from his transformed heart. "Half of my possessions, Lord, I will give to the poor," he declared softly. "And if I have defrauded anyone of anything, I will pay back 4 times as much." His voice carried the quiet certainty of someone who had found something far more valuable than all his collected wealth. Jesus' face softened with joy as he heard Zacchaeus' words of transformation. "Today salvation has come to this house," he said gently, "for this man too is a son of Abraham." The words fell like a healing balm, restoring Zacchaeus to his place in the community of faith. "For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost," Jesus continued, his voice carrying notes of both tenderness and triumph. As they walked together toward Zacchaeus' home, the evening light painting the streets in warm gold, a profound peace settled over the tax collector. The house that had once been a symbol of his isolation would now become a place of restoration and celebration. Each step felt like walking into a new life, one where belonging replaced loneliness, and grace overcame judgment. The story of Zacchaeus reminds us that no one is too far from grace, too hidden to be seen, or too lost to be found. Like the sycamore tree that lifted him above the crowd, sometimes our greatest moments of transformation come when we set aside our dignity and reach for something higher than ourselves.